Hey everyone, this is Stan. Thanks very much for tuning in. This is the very first episode of a podcast where we interview people from industries where Multilogin is present. Today I have Liran from AutoDS. Now, AutoDS is all-in-one dropshipping e-commerce platform that offers automation solutions like price stock monitoring, quick product importing, automatic order fulfillment, and many more really cool features that help online stores scale their businesses to newer heights. Now, AutoDS has over 10,000 active users, and they have been in the market for around 5 years. They also have a really cool YouTube channel that has over 30,000 active subscribers. I was actually really amazed by the sheer volume and quality of the content that they produce. It is very interesting, very important information, very valuable information. So if you are into dropshipping or you're interested in dropshipping, definitely check their channel out. So yeah, Liran, thanks very much for coming. How's it going?
Great, Stan, and thank you for having me. You already gave a pretty nice introduction. So I'm Liran from AutoDS, and I'm the content manager here at AutoDS, and I'm very happy to be here.
So do I understand correctly that you have been a dropshipper yourself in the past?
Yeah, in the past and in the present also. I've been dropshipping for about, I would say, almost 6 years, about five something years now. And I started long ago, and I'm still doing it up until this day because there's just no reason not to. And that's the current status.
How did you get into dropshipping?
Well, I was looking for an additional way to make more money, and this idea came to me when my wife was pregnant with our first daughter. And naturally, one of the things that happens when one's wife is pregnant is, okay, we have a baby coming up, we're going to have a lot more expenses, we need to think of ways to overcome these expenses. And here's what I'm making now, here's how much I know that the expenses will be soon. It's clearly not enough. We need to think of more ways to make an additional income. And during my current job back then, I was pretty much maxed out from what I can make there. So I had to think of an additional way without leaving my current job. Let's see if I can start something on my own on the side and see if we can generate some extra income there. So that's where the original idea came from, drop shipping. And then I just looked it up. I just found out dropshipping, out of the many things that I read on the internet of extra ways to make money. And we're not looking for like get rich quick schemes, because that's not how it works in any type of industry, not just dropshipping. But this is one of the things that really caught my eye, because I realized from the few different business models that I was looking at, dropshipping was the one that caught my eye the most because of how it works and because of what it is, and what you can do for yourself and how you can run everything on your own without having to have a team under you or anything like that. So that really caught my eye, and I realized this is something that I can do. The only thing that you need is the right knowledge, because you can't dive in without knowing how to first. But besides that, that was the basic idea of how I got to dropshipping. And my first nosedive, I just found an online course. I was looking for many courses just to get the basics. I just wanted to understand the basics of how to get started the right way. And I just found one course with many people who, reviewed it and showed their testimonials. So I realized this is like a real course that people are actually taking, and it's actually helping them. I signed up for that course. It was a classroom course where you have to physically be there. And then there were also some virtual classes after that. And that was enough for me to get the base, to understand how the things work here. And I pretty much took off from there.
Cool. So can you actually tell us what is dropshipping, and most importantly, where's the money?
Of course. So dropshipping is a business model where you can have your own online store and sell products without actually holding them in stock. Meaning I can sell somebody else's products, somebody who is either selling them himself or not. It doesn't matter. I don't really care. And I'm simply listing someone else's products that they already manufactured and they're already holding it in their stock. I'm just posting it on my store, selling it on my store at a different price, of course, at a higher price. And when I make sales on my store, I simply purchase the product from that supplier and I ship it directly to the end customer, meaning I don't need to have any physical contact with this product. And the difference between the price that I'm paying my source to my selling price on my store, the difference between them is my profit as the drop shipper. That's basically how the dropshipping business model works. We're simply selling products without holding them in our own stock. We can sell them in different selling channels. We don't have to sell it only, for example, on Shopify or on eBay. You have so many different selling channels that you can sell on, and you can sell on any region around the world, meaning you don't only have to target one specific audience. So if a market is saturated in one audience, in one region, you can always target different regions. It's a very, very flexible business model. And because it has a very low risk, because you're not investing, you don't have any upfront investments, you can start a dropshipping business today with zero costs and see how that goes for you and then work your way up. So because of the low risk and high reward business model that dropshipping has to offer, that's I think one of the best things that explains why it is such a good thing to obtain and to learn, and it's a great business model overall. That's basically how it works.
But can you tell us a bit more, like what top players are earning in this industry? What's kind of like
we have a lot of top players in this industry. Some of you have heard about dropshipping before. You've probably heard of people like Paul Lipsky and AC Hampton, and off the top of my head, Ecom King. Jordan Welch is also a great player in the dropshipping scene. Nick from the Dropship family that I also spoke with recently. He's managing over 10 eBay stores simultaneously that are not linked to one another. There's a lot of big names in the dropshipping industry. There's a lot of big names.
But what are they earning? Like what's the scale of their businesses? Do you happen to know?
I can give my previous example of the last one that I spoke with, who is Nick from the Dropship family that I also mentioned about 60 seconds ago. So this guy is managing over 10 eBay stores simultaneously. It's only he and his wife who are working on eBay. They're working on it full time. So he's taking care of all of the product research. And one other thing I forgot, and his wife is taking care of all of the customer service. So they're delegating tasks to one another. Each one knows what they're responsible for. And this guy is making, it was $1 million per year, at least, like not below that. And that's just that example. It's no, it's in total revenue, but his profits are pretty high. If you want to talk about profits in dropshipping, it's not low. Even if you think the market is competitive, but once you dive in, you'll see the profit margins are not low, especially because you have the flexibility to sell anywhere and to market to anywhere. And it's easy to also shift. If you have something that's not working well, if you're selling a certain niche that's not going well, you want to replace it with something else, you do it really quick. You don't have to get rid of inventory on a shelf. You just remove the product and add something else. So because it's like that, it's also much easier. It's also much more flexible to test the market for new products and more profitable products. So profit margins, we're thinking around not less than 20%. Usually beginners start around 15-20%, and I think that it's not the best idea, but it's okay if you want to start, you want to learn the ropes a little bit, you want to see what works. So you can start with 20% profit margin, and once you see that it's easy to sell, once you have your product research on point, and once you're targeting the right audience, you can easily raise it to 30, 40, 50, and even 60% and up. And in my example, in Nick, the one that I spoke to, it was around 40, 50%, if I'm not mistaken. I am personally working on my dropshipping stores at the 50% profit margin range. And that's the way that I'm doing it.
50% actually sounds very good. This is something that usually IT companies try to uphold to 50% profit margin.
Yeah, and I started really, really low in the beginning. As I mentioned, usually dropshippers in the beginning, they think that they have to be super competitive. They think that they have to be the cheapest in the world. And then I started making profit about 30, 50 cents profit. I wasn't even looking at percentages. I was just looking at cents. Like if I'm making 50 cents profit per order, then I just made 50 cents profit as profit, right? So I started off like that. And after, several orders, and especially after you're doing it on my first week, I already had 5 orders. So some people don't see orders even after their first month. Some people see it only during their second month, they start getting their first orders. But in my case, it was 5 orders in the first week, I realized that maybe I can make more than 50 cents per order. And yeah, today, about 5 years later, it's around the 50% profit margin range.
You pointed out quite a bit of websites where you can purchase, you can list the products. What do you think? Are there any new ones that popped in 2022? For example, I've heard there's Walmart. Walmart now allows to kind of like put your products on sale. Have you heard or found out any new ones that popped in 2022?
So new websites, I would have to say new marketplaces, like you mentioned, Walmart is one of them, where you can have your own e-commerce business on Walmart. It can even be drop shipping. It can be real inventory. It can be whatever you want. I would always suggest to always try out the dropshipping business model first, even if if you're thinking about selling inventory. To learn the market, the cheapest way and the best way is through dropshipping. Learn about the market, learn about the trends, see what products are selling, see what are the best target audiences for those products. And once you find a good seller, you can move to inventory. But back to your question, Walmart is a great place to source your inventory or dropshipping business. You can also do so on Amazon. It's not new, but a lot of people and a lot of new sellers are still joining Amazon's family every day, and that's also another platform that's working really well. I know about some people who are drop shipping or having their e-commerce business on AliExpress. I have no experience with that, so I don't really know how to comment on that. Not just yet. It's a Chinese marketplace, so for now I'm avoiding talking about that. You can also have your dropshipping business on regular selling channels like Wix, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Shopify, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. The newest one, the freshest one, is Facebook Marketplace, because not a lot of people still know about that yet. People think that the Facebook Marketplace is for selling products that you have here around, your home, maybe have a garage sale. But Facebook is turning into commerce and e-commerce more and more in the last year. And they are putting a lot of their budgets today into e-commerce and onto their platform, onto Facebook or Meta or whatever you want to call it. So the Facebook Marketplace today, I'm noticing more and more dropshippers who are joining it. And when I talk about dropshipping, I mean that they're actually selling products on Facebook Marketplace, as you know, without having them in stock. And once they get a sale, they'll go to Amazon. Most people are sourcing from Facebook Marketplace from Amazon. So they're just going to Amazon, going to the supplier, purchasing the product, sending it to the customer on Facebook Marketplace. And this is one of my favorite marketplaces today for dropshipping. That's because there's no competition there. There is no competition like there is on eBay and on Shopify and on other selling channels. The Facebook Marketplace is almost completely 100% untapped, meaning as long as you see a product that's selling well on Amazon or Walmart or any other supplier that you want to use, just list it on the Facebook Marketplace and it will sell. It's that easy and it's that simple. However, there are some prerequisites. On the Facebook Marketplace, you have to have a US account, you have to have a US IP address, you have to live in the United States, and you have to have a social security number for verification once you pass $599 in sales. You have to have all of these prerequisites in order to dropship on the Facebook Marketplace. And that's because once you have all of that, Facebook will give you an option called shipping options when you create a listing. And when you have shipping options, then this listing that you're listing will show up to all 50 states in the US and not just to one small location, meaning you're not going to get a lot of traffic and you're not going to be making any sales. And Facebook won't be able to handle your payouts and send you the money because you won't be able to ship. So that is definitely my most favorite new marketplace for dropshippers. So if any of you guys who are listening are from the United States, check out Facebook Marketplace dropshipping after listening to this podcast, and I'm sure you're going to like what you see.
So actually, one question I would like to ask you, Liran, that I think a lot of our users are asking, and this is related to account bans. Now, this is a very hot topic. Everybody's asking it. My question is, what's the number one reason you think dropshippers' online accounts get banned? For example, buyer accounts.
Yeah, sure. So we have buyer accounts, we have seller accounts. So it is important to make the distinction, and I will refer to them both. Getting banned, usually 100% is because you don't know what you're doing. You didn't know you thought you knew, but you don't. So what I mean by this, let's break this down. I already talked about selling products that you are not allowed to resell. So you didn't know that you weren't supposed to sell it, but now you know and you learned it the hard way. Don't sell products that are copyrighted and trademarked, because products that are copyrighted, those companies usually have a lawyer or someone working in that company that his job is just to search the internet to see who is reselling their product. They're going to use Google Images. They're going to use other methods to find your listing, and they will find it. And then they can file a complaint. If you're dropshipping on eBay, they're going to send it through eBay. If it's on Facebook, through Facebook. If you're on Shopify or Wix or WooCommerce or BigCommerce with your own domain name, they're going to send it to your email address. But either way, they're going to find you. So stay away, once again, from copyrighted trademark products. How do you know if it's copyrighted or trademarked, even if you haven't heard about the company before? There are a few methods. One of them I will maybe talk about it later on. But if, let's say, you're starting off and you're doing everything manually and you're not using any tools to help you out, then you can, besides knowing the company or not knowing the company, you can sometimes sell a product that you're not allowed to, even if you don't know the company. So there are places, online, you can check for trademarks on your product. And that's the best way, I think, when you're doing it manually, to see if this product is allowed to be resold. So selling copyrighted or trademarked products is one of the biggest reasons for new dropshipper accounts getting banned. Now, in marketplaces like eBay and Facebook, you're using someone else's platform. It's not your website, okay? You're using someone else's marketplace, and therefore you have to abide by their policies. So some people are not aware of eBay's policies when they're dropshipping on eBay, and same thing for Facebook. One of the most important things on these platforms is taking care of your buyers, taking care of your customers. Your customers open up return requests. They open up disputes every now and then. We don't like it, but it's a part of the business. And even though it's small, 1% to 2% of our transactions, we still have to deal with them. And many dropshippers think that they can just ignore these customers and say, let's just whatever, let's just let them get mad. I don't have to see them anyway, so who cares? And when you don't open up your customers' complaints, when you don't handle their disputes, if you don't take care of your customer service, it is only a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb for your account to get banned on those marketplaces. Now, if you're using other places like Shopify, Wix, you have your own domain name, and the customers can complain all they want. At the end of the day, it's whatever you decide, because you don't have any marketplaces with policies on top of you. But you're not going to get these repeat customers. They will never return to buy from your store again. And you won't get a lot of new customers this way, because you have a shady business model that's not very customer oriented. Your business is simply not going to last long. You may not get banned, but your business is definitely not going to last. Updating tracking information is also very important. Many dropshippers on marketplaces like eBay and Facebook, they don't update tracking information, and then their account gets banned, because the marketplace is like, hey, we're giving you customers, they're sending you orders, and you are not showing what's going with their delivery progress, and they're coming to us to complain, wondering where their packages are. So always update tracking information. It's one of the reasons why marketplaces like eBay and Facebook like to shut it down. Now, let's talk a little bit about that. Those are when you are a seller, but also when you're a buyer, when you're dropshipping as a buyer, you can also get banned. Your buyer account will get banned. So this doesn't mean that your dropshipping store is getting banned, but your buyer account is getting banned. And what this means is there are suppliers who don't want you to dropship from them, retail suppliers. And the biggest ones I want to mention, and don't get shot, guys, but Amazon and Walmart don't want you to dropship their products. They are retail marketplaces, and they're against it. One of the things that they do to avoid dropshippers dropshipping from their platforms is simply locking their buyer accounts once they purchase one too many times products and shipping them to different addresses. So if I have my Amazon account and Amazon sees that every day I'm sending out 10 orders to different addresses, they know that I'm a dropshipper. I'm not just sending gifts to my friends and my family. They know that. So they mark you as a dropshipper and they ban your buyer account. Now, there are workarounds to this. There are ways to still dropship from them. Thousands are still doing it. But those are the main reasons for beginners who don't have the right, proper knowledge and tools yet. Their buyer accounts get banned, and then they don't know, what they did wrong or what they can do to overcome it. Following marketplaces selling policies, I already mentioned that. So like I mentioned, don't sell copyrighted products. I said it a few times. Update the tracking information, respond to buyer requests, and either buy from dropshipping friendly suppliers. Okay, like AliExpress has no problem. CJ Dropshipping. I have a lot in my head right now. I can't think of any. There's a lot of dropshipping suppliers that will be more than happy for you to dropship their products. So if you're not aware of how to overcome marketplaces, suppliers like Amazon and Walmart using your buyer account, then just go to the dropshipping friendly ones, start from there, and you'll easily work your way up. Okay, Alibaba, AliExpress, CJ Dropshipping, Wayfair, Costway. You have a lot of dropshipping suppliers that are 100% dropshipping friendly, and your buyer account will not get banned when you are purchasing from them. Then you have automatic ordering services, which we might talk about later. And this is a great way to overcome all of that, because you're not using your buyer accounts to process your orders, which makes everything much more automated and better. Besides that, yeah, just maybe look around for courses and take a good course from someone who has real experience in the field, and not just theoretic experience, but actual real experience today and not 2 years ago in the dropshipping field. It's another way to start the right way and not get banned after doing something that you didn't know you weren't allowed to do. That is why having the right knowledge and tools is always the best way to start a dropshipping business, and not just dive headfirst and hope for the best.
Just hope, have faith that everything will work.
Exactly.
So naturally, if you have like a seller account that you use to sell products on maybe eBay, Amazon, or any other websites, is it wise for any dropshipper to have, let's say, a backup account just in case one gets banned?
Yeah, sure. Now, regarding backup accounts, this is something that's always been an interesting and a hot topic throughout the years of dropshipping, especially when you're dropshipping on marketplaces like eBay. If you want to have multiple stores, or even Facebook Marketplace, you want to have multiple stores, and each selling channel, they really have their own advantages and their own reasons why you'd want to have multiple accounts. Like eBay, for example, they give you a certain amount of selling limits, and you want to have more selling limits. One way to do it, you can call eBay on the phone and tell them, hey, I'm doing a really great job selling on your platform. I've got so many more products to sell. Please upgrade my limits. And they'll walk you through the process. If you're eligible, not eligible. If you're not eligible, they'll tell you what you need to do. And on the Facebook Marketplace, you have an unlimited amount of listings from day one. But maybe you want to have a sell niche products on one marketplace, sell another niche on another marketplace, and back to eBay, since I didn't really finish there. One reason why you'd want to have multiple stores is to have more limits before while you're waiting for them to upgrade your limits. Maybe you want to have more. Also, the niche is also another great reason. Just like the Facebook Marketplace, you want to have an eBay store on the pets niche. You want to have another one on the furniture niche. You want to have a separation between those stores. So that's another reason to have multiple stores. And there's more than one reason why you'd want to have multiple stores. And one of the things that we can talk about is stealth accounts and how that works, because this is something that a lot of people are asking, especially on eBay. Now, stealth accounts, another way of saying it is having more than one store on eBay without eBay knowing that I have more than one store. Now, of course, eBay wants to know about you and all of your stores. And what they do is, once you open another eBay store, even if one store is has your information and the other store has someone else's information, if you're opening up that other store on your computer, then eBay will easily make the connection between the two stores, and they will link them together. What does that mean? The two stores will still be separate. Everything will still be separate. But if you made a mistake on one store and eBay had to permanently or temporarily suspend that store, then the other stores, the linked connected stores, are going to go down like dominoes. So whether you have 2 stores or 10 stores, they're all going to go down once that one store goes down, even if you made a really minor mistake. So one of the reasons why people want to have stealth accounts is so that eBay won't be able to link the stores with one another. Of course, eBay doesn't like this. Doesn't make it possible. Doesn't mean it's impossible. No, a lot of people are doing it, and to be honest, I'm also doing it. And what it helps you do is, if one store accidentally goes down, the rest will still stay up because they are different. They are not linked to one another. Now, let's talk about how people are doing it, how people are having stealth accounts, what are the ways to do it. So the methods, at least, is when you want to have another eBay account, you don't want to create it on the same computer. You don't want to create it under the same Wi-Fi connection. You don't want to create it under the same household, using the same router. And the reason for that is because eBay will easily be able to link your other accounts. Even if you're using a different computer and you're on the other side of the house, but they're connected to the same router, eBay will still link between the stores. So one of the ways to do it is to do that differently, and I'm sure that we'll talk about that soon. But one of the things about the information that you provide to eBay to not turn it into an illegal business practice is simply by creating another account, okay, with the method that we'll talk about soon. But regarding the personal information, do not take someone else's identity without their permission. Okay, this is identity theft, and no one wants to put up with this. But however, you have family members, you have friends, you have people who know you and trust you to carry their information. And when they give you permission for that, you can use their information to create that second account. If they don't have an eBay account, well, then why can't you create one for them? And this is exactly what you are doing here. And then you'll run your store on their second account, on your third account, on your fourth account, and so forth. This is the way to do it and keep it all legal. And you'll still be able to pass all of the verification requests and all of that, and everything will stay legal. You can have multiple accounts, and they'll still be linked to one another if you didn't do the technical part correctly, which we'll talk about. But this is the way to do it in terms of the personal information and still keep it legal.
Absolutely, Liran. Here in Multilogin, we also research how websites detect users, and absolutely very true. They utilize a mixture of many different techniques. And what I can say, eBay, Amazon, many websites are notorious for tracking users. They are notorious for that. They gather a lot of data, and even simple things, as you said, like connecting to the same router, will eventually give the same IP address to the user. Right. And eventually, by using this IP address, any website can simply link these accounts together. Another way how they also do it is by using so-called browser fingerprints. Now, we don't need to go very technical into browser fingerprints, but by utilizing a couple of parameters on the browser that is visible to these websites, they can link these accounts together. So even just sometimes running on a different IP address and having let's say a different browser, websites are still able to link these accounts together, even using the different browsers. Right. It's totally possible.
Right. And I also learned this the hard way when dropshipping without order automation, when I was processing my own orders. So every time I got an order, I would go to Amazon, I would purchase it, I would send it to the buyer, same thing over and over. Now, in the beginning, in the first few years, it was a goldmine. Amazon had no problem, or maybe they had a problem, but they weren't doing anything about it. And people were just doing this easily, just using their platform for reselling and using their own buyer accounts to process their orders. And then came the gift cards. The gift cards was a complete goldmine, because what you would do is there would be a lot of gift card providers who would sell you discounted gift cards around at an average of 15% discount. So right now, they'll sell you a $100 Amazon gift card for $85 or for $80 or for $75, the really aggressive ones. And you would pay $75, $80 for a $100 gift card. You would add that gift card to your Amazon account, and then you would fulfill your orders until that $100 balance runs out. And then you add another gift card. And this is the way we would do it for a few good years. It worked this way. What happened? Yeah, and it was crazy. It was the best era for making an insane amount of profits from Amazon to eBay dropshipping. Then what happened was Amazon just simply started to crack down on it. Okay, anyone using discounted gift cards, their accounts are now locked, their buyer accounts, and all of the money that they had inside is now stuck with us. They're never going to get that money back. So this started happening, and this started rolling out to more and more dropshippers until, it got everyone's attention. Okay, Amazon is locking accounts. How can we still continue dropshipping from Amazon? And then order automation came along the way. AutoDS came with a fulfilled by AutoDS feature, meaning AutoDS has their own buyer accounts and they will fulfill your orders for you using their buyer accounts. There's no bans. There's nothing to worry about. There's no more gift card discounts. Now $100 is $100. But hey, you've got your account, you've got your money. But what I was trying to say from this is the stealth accounts. So after Amazon started banning accounts and before we had the order automation solution, there was a gap. There was about a 2-month gap of people not knowing what to do now with their business. And one of the things that I did was I found an Amazon account supplier, and then I started dropshipping Amazon accounts to whoever needs it. And what I would do is I would open a different proxy for every Amazon account that I would have, because every time I open another Amazon account, if my previous one was banned, as soon as you open another account, boom, banned. You don't even have a chance to do anything. So what I would do is I would open a whole bunch of proxies and a whole bunch of Chrome portable accounts and many things to totally hide my identity from Amazon, not let them know that I'm the same person. And it worked for a while, but it was like a hassle. It was a huge hassle. How much do I owe the proxy company? How many proxies do I still have open that I forgot to close? And it just became a big mess. So once order automation came out, it really, really, leveled the playing field, and it's been working great ever since. But that's another thing that I just wanted to say about stealth, just having crazy amount of proxy connections, and some don't even work well. Some are recycled. And, it was just a whole big mess that we had to go through.
What kind of proxies did you use? Was it like data center proxies or residential proxies?
It was data center proxies, and they were supposed to provide you with fresh new proxies every time, but I'm pretty sure that they didn't, because now and then I would use a new proxy and my account would still get banned as soon as I would create a new one, and then I would know that someone else already used this proxy before. Or maybe I didn't set it up correctly, but I was setting them up correctly because I had a lot of them running at the same time. I had a spreadsheet with all of my proxies and all of the accounts that they're linked to. It was a mess. I made some good profit selling those accounts, but handling it was a big mess. It just wasn't really fun.
Got you. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we also see quite a bit of a progression of what websites tracked before and what they track now. Before, it was possible to open up with data center proxies. I think it should be possible to do right now, but the industry is more heading towards residential and mobile proxies. And by the way, what we also noticed is that actually, did you know that eBay and Amazon, they also are very notorious? As I said, they're very notorious for tracking you. And did you know that they actually scan ports on your machine? They actually check what kind of ports you're open. And in some countries, actually, port scanning is even illegal. But like eBay and Amazon, it's proven that they are still doing it. So they track a lot of data.
Yeah.
So wow, definitely.
And that's why they're really good at what they're doing. If you want to try to create a stealth account and you don't have the right tools and knowledge, then even if you think you did it right, they'll catch on to you like nothing.
So what's the secret method that you wanted to share?
I think this is the method that you want to talk about using Multilogin to be able to do this. And this is something that we're also utilizing here at AutoDS for our accounts. We have many accounts that we're running here too. We have an e-commerce mentor, our e-commerce manager. His name is Daniel. He's from Italy. He has before he joined AutoDS, he himself still is running more than 10 e-commerce stores, not just one platform. And he's also managing a lot of e-commerce platforms for AutoDS. We have a lot of stores that we're running. We're not doing it for profiting, even though the profits are great. We're doing it to learn about more suppliers, learn about more products, learn about more trends, more ways to synchronize between suppliers and marketplaces, new marketing methods, new strategies. So this is one of the things that he is doing, and for that he needs to have a lot of accounts. And I mentioned Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. A lot of people want to join Facebook Marketplace, want to dropship on the Facebook Marketplace, but they don't live in the US. And I mentioned one of the prerequisites, one of the requirements for dropshipping on the Facebook Marketplace is having a US account. Now, if you don't have a US account in a US location, then you won't be able to dropship on the Facebook Marketplace. But if you do have a US account in a US location, even if you don't live in the US, which is possible, then you can dropship on the Facebook Marketplace. You'll still need to have an SSN verification number. So if you don't have one, it'll still be difficult, because once you pass $600 in sales, Facebook will ask for an SSN verification. But you can also use that with Multilogin to create your face to have a US location, create your Facebook account from there, and then go on and start dropshipping. So our Daniel is also using Multilogin a lot for our different accounts here, and it's something that's been helping us. And I'm sure that you would like to go more in depth about it.
Without too much overselling, yes. So the main purpose of Multilogin is actually to separate these, as you said that you use these like separate portable browser profiles. And the thing is that it does require a lot of setup. And our main goal in Multilogin is actually for you to have an ability to create these separate browser profile instances that are totally distinct and real to the website's perspective. Now, it will help just to kind of like isolate the environment and make it distinct and real. Actually, I really advocate for learning about browser fingerprints, learning about proxies, learning how websites detect, because when you have this knowledge, you can make the necessary adjustments if, like, shit hits the fan.
Right.
But ultimately, in Multilogin, we do strive to create this browser profile that are automatically configured for you, that already upon launch will be seen as distinct and real devices. So if you're interested, yes, in Multilogin, go check it out and check out also our YouTube channels for more information. Kind of like the main idea behind any website detection is related to two key factors. We can even say three, but the main two ones which Multilogin directly manages is kind of like the main distinction. There are browser fingerprints like your IP address, your system configuration settings, like your video card, your screen resolution, all of these.
I've heard that they even see your MAC address on your
That is not true. Websites cannot see your MAC address.
That's a rumor that I heard. I remember.
It's a rumor. Websites cannot check your MAC address because, basically, MAC address is a part of your lower network stack of your network card. So basically, websites cannot access it.
It's not visible.
Totally
to them.
false.
Okay,
It's a myth.
Great.
They cannot.
Okay.
But some
Thanks for
people do
clearing that
change MAC address just for the safety reasons, because they feel safe.
Okay.
But ultimately, when it comes to this distinction, you have to change all of these parameters. But the thing is that once you change one parameter, it will fall as a house of cards, because when you change one parameter, you have to change all other parameters in a consistent way, so they're consistent with each other. Even like with the IP address, if you're using a data center IP and they see that it's a data center, they can already put a higher risk score on this IP address. Another thing with consistencies, for example, when you change, let's say, the video card, like the name of the video card, which is a very good way to track one specific user. But once you change the video card, and you're changing also the operating system, then they can see a consistency and they will simply ban you. That's what we strive for. We try to create browser profiles that are not only distinct, like unique within each other, so the website doesn't link them together, but also consistent. Another thing is, like, if you're using even a US proxy, you have to also take care of the browser fingerprints that tell information about your location, such as time zone, geolocation API, your languages, and your your system local settings. And also there was this one. Actually, even if you change to a data center proxy, even if you use a proxy, then there are things in the browser that can leak your IP, and that is called WebRTC. Now, in Multilogin, we try to mask it all together, like automatically out of the box, but nonetheless, like, understanding this information and how website detect you is actually very crucial. It always helps. Like, just by knowing this, you always have a more logical or even intuitive understanding of how to deal with situation when problems occur.
And it's really important to note that you're taking all of the important measures to make sure, absolutely sure, that the other side has no clue whatsoever that you are actually running through a different server, through a different proxy or whatever you want to. And this is really important because many people want to go to those $5 a month proxy websites and hoping to get something fresh, new, that nobody will be able to detect, that the browser will not be able to leak, and that just doesn't happen. So you want something practical, you want something fast, and something at the end of the day that works.
True. Actually, one of the really good ways, if you really cannot afford residential IPs or residential proxies, they are quite expensive. You can look into mobile proxies and IPs. They are relatively not expensive. They may start from $30 to $40 per month, and you can recycle it for like many accounts as you want. But if you really even cannot afford a mobile, that's totally fine. You can use a USB dongle, which gives internet to your computer, and you can give the unique IP address to every unique browser profile that you're launching. This will limit to the amount of simultaneous browser profiles that you can launch, but it will give a fresh mobile IP address that websites cannot simply ban. This is
what happens if you accidentally disconnect that dongle when you're in the middle of one of your website, you're working on one of your stores?
That's a really good question.
It goes back to your original.
Yes, absolutely. You get detected. You get detected. We are building a feature in Multilogin, and maybe by the time you're watching this podcast, it's already implemented, where we kind of ensure the fact that the IP address is unique, and there's a kill switch if your local IP address is used. Yeah, that's very bad. You should not do that, and that's why it's a cheap solution. That's kind of like, if you're not really ready, then you have to be more attentive then.
Right.
Let's quickly talk about also like more advanced dropshippers. Yes, there are already established teams, established people who are earning money from by using dropshipping. What do you think, in your opinion, what should such an organization do right now in order to 10x their profits in the next 6 months?
Right. So I only see one way of doing it, and that's how it worked for me. That's how it's working for others. I don't see any other way. When you add automation, then you can scale. And I can say that 10 times over and over again. Once there was something that made me avoid adding automation in the beginning, because I just thought, oh, it's just, I don't know, just another thing that maybe I don't really need, and it's going to take my money, and I'm not going to be able to make anything off of it. Once I added in automation, I really couldn't look back. I don't even remember what it was like before everything was automated. And when I'm talking about automation, I'm talking about things like price and stock monitoring, meaning now I have a product on my store. The price changed on my supplier's website. Who's going to change it on my website? I need to wake up every morning, refresh more than 1,000 listings, see if the price changes on my supplier side, change it on my website, see if the stock changed. If it went out of stock on my supplier's website, I don't want anyone to order it from my store. It needs to go out of stock on my. So price and stock monitoring, quick product importing, because if you want to scale, it's a numbers game. And no matter what anyone says, it is a numbers game. The more products you have, the more you're going to sell. Whether your products are relevant or not relevant to your target audience, that's your responsibility. But the more products you have, the more you're going to sell. And if you want to have more products, you need to add more products. And if you want to add more products, you need to, if you're doing it manually, you know how long it takes you to add a product to your store. It can take 20, 30 minutes or even more just for one product. And what happens when you want to scale from 100 products to 1,000, and from 1K to 5K, from 5K to 10K? Because at 10,000 products, your sales are going to be phenomenal. Of course, it depends on the selling channel, depends who you're targeting, it depends on all those factors. But when you make it to that number when you make it to those numbers, everything is going to look different. And the only way to do it is is like I mentioned, through automation. We talked about price and stock, but also importing products. You can do it when you're using an automation tool. You can import one product, 10 products, 100 products, or 10,000 products at the same amount of time. In less than 1 minute. Okay, no exaggerations here. So you want to be able to import your products quickly. Now you have a whole category that's not selling you well. You can delete them all in a click, add another niche in a click, and it's amazing. So quick product importing, price and stock monitoring, and one of the biggest things that really helped me with business automation is order automation. Meaning, as when I get an order from a customer, in the beginning, of course, like I mentioned, I was doing it manually from Amazon. I was going to Amazon, adding it to my cart, using gift cards. After that stopped working, I started using credit card. After that stopped working, I finally joined an automatic order solution service. And then I really was able to sit back and relax. An order comes in, processes it automatically. Order comes in, processes it automatically. Even when I'm traveling, even while I'm sleeping, I wake up, I see new orders. They've already been shipped out with tracking numbers. And everything was automated. The order was automated. The tracking number was automated on my store. And this is where you are really going to be able to scale. So you're importing products quickly. you have full price and stock monitoring, so you don't need to worry about the prices in the stock, and you have full order automation. Now the only thing that you need to worry about is customer service, because robots cannot talk to your buyers. So when a buyer reaches out, you need to respond to them, and you also need to work on product research. Now, in time, there are more and more tools that are coming out to help you automate your product research. Even though I still don't think it can be 100% automated, you can automate the processes that take the most amount of time for product research, and then leave you with the most important parts, like picking out the right ones, but finding out what products are selling well, learning about new trends. All of this is starting to get automated. But at the end of the day, after you add in business automation, to summarize, the only things that you'll still need to take care of is customer service and product research. Product research, I love it. It's one of my favorite subjects. Customer service, not so much, but it's, like I said, it's the 1-2%. It's the small part of our business, and it's really not a big issue. So order automation, that's the best and only way I see it to scale. And I remember the days that I used to work manual. I remember how much time it took. And I remember that I felt safe that I was doing everything manual, because I'm not, I don't depend on any tool to take care of my business. I have full control. But really, once you take that step, even if you try it for a week, I still haven't met a dropshipper that went back to the old method. So yeah, scaling, 10xing, it has to be with automation. It has to be with price and stock monitoring. It has to be with quick product importing. Otherwise, you won't be able to get those 10,000 items in your store. And all of this, to me, happened with AutoDS. That's also a reason why I really wanted to join the system. I really wanted to work in something that I find very innovating, very I really believe in this, in what they're doing, and the business model itself, which is drop shipping. And it quickly turned into a passion for me. I was a customer of AutoDS before I started working at AutoDS. I was just a regular customer. And even up until today, I'm a regular customer. If I have like a bug or something that's not working, I open a support ticket, I open a live chat, I act like a normal customer. They don't know on the other side that it's Liran, the content manager from AutoDS. And I'm just working like a regular customer, because I also want to still see and feel like a customer, and see that everything here is still, working well, which of course it is. And that's it. Scaling, 10xing, business automation. That is the solution, and there is no other solution, if you ask me.
I can definitely vouch for that. When I'm personally speaking with e-commerce users and asking absolutely the same question, they also say leveraging e-commerce automation. This definitely helps to take out routine tasks. So Liran, actually, I'm out of questions. Really, dude, thanks very much for coming. Is there anything else you would like to add?
We've pretty much said a lot in this, but there's also a limit to how much we can say. So anyone who wants to get free value, no interest, just go learn, get your value, learn what you need to know, and then take your next step. Head over to autods.com/blog. We have them coming out at least 2-3 times a week. New articles, product finding, dropshipping tips and strategies, interviews, case studies, anything that has to do with e-commerce and dropshipping, and also our YouTube channel, youtube.com/AutoDS. We've got 2-3 videos coming out every week, new videos, brand new things, new products to look out for, new niches that are trending right now, suppliers, marketplaces, how-to tutorials, technical step-by-steps, free courses, and so much more. So definitely check that out if you appreciate, getting real value, learning real methods, and how to start a dropshipping business, how to leverage your dropshipping business once you already got started. We've got great case studies, like I mentioned, like with Michael from the Dropship family. We got Atkin with over 10 eBay stores, Rafael Cintron, and a Shopify professional. Just go and check it out. I don't want to seem too markety here, but if you appreciate free, great value, check that out. And yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me. I hope that all of you listeners learned a thing or two here, also about the dropshipping business model in general, how it works and what people are doing with it today, and also how you can leverage it, and how you can definitely take advantage of having multiple accounts, and how you can benefit from that and easily scale and profit even more, multiply your success when you have multiple stores running in certain marketplaces. And this is very, very relevant for dropshipping. So thank you. I enjoyed this conversation, and maybe we'll have another one soon.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.